welcome back to the Smoke Shack. This is Steven. Today I'm bringing you a review on the West Tampa Circle of Life. Again, this is West Tampa Tobacco Company. It's the upper band there. Lower band is this gold one. These bands are quite neat. They have these lines on the bottom, as you can see. These lines are actually like textured. Very neat there. Even the bottom band is textured as well with that same wavy pattern. Very good looking wrapper here. This is a Mexican San Andreas wrapper. Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan fillers. Very veiny looking, very dark chocolate as far as the hue of the wrapper. The aroma of the body is a little bit musky. There's a bit of fruit sweetness in there as well. The toes aroma is a little bit stronger with more hay and cedar leaning aromas there. Take off this bottom band. Go ahead and give this thing a cut. I meant to show you the cap there. The cap was quite sloppy looking. It is a double cap on top, but the second cap, the actual cap, looked rather sloppily put on there. I forgot to do that, but cut it. Anyway. Rather chocolatey here on the dry draw. Chocolatey and musky with just a little bit of hay in there as well. Very interesting dry draw there. I'm gonna go ahead and light this up. Really good flavor here to start. I'm getting a little bit of either a black pepper or a rye spice. Not positive what it is just yet. Even a little bit of a yeasty bread. And a sweetness that I can't put my tongue on just yet. Pretty great start here, though, so far to the cigar. Gonna go ahead and smoke this down into the end of the first start here. Catch you back up with my thoughts. But before I do, just wanted to highlight the fact that Circle of Life right now is one of the top 10 cigars in the first quarter or 45 days. That's not a quarter. That's a month and a half. So I guess the first 45 days of this year, Circle of Life was a top 10 selling cigar. So if you haven't already, get your hands on one because they're selling out pretty quickly. I'm going to get to the bottom of why they're selling out so quickly here shortly. Stay tuned. Bringing you back in at about the end of the first third here. As you can see, the char line has been pretty even. Nice solid ash as well. The flavor profile here is very spice oriented. Excuse me. I get baking spices are like the main profile there with some black pepper as well. There's some yeast and cream in there as well with a little bit of cedar and some fruit sweetness. A very, very robust flavor profile here in the first third. I think the balance is the only thing that's just a little off. The yeast and cedar are kind of working together to make it really dry, and then the pepper and spices are a little bit too spicy and like harsh notes. So the balance is just a little off. It's not majorly off, just a little bit there. 4 out of 5. Everything else is perfect here. Very rich flavor. very complex, as we talked about how robust this was, and extremely smooth. This is a medium start here. It was a kick in the mouth. Really did kind of get you going there with that medium strength start. I feel like this might be a full body cigar by the time we get to the end of this, but I will keep you updated. The only thing I noticed construction wise in the first third here is a kind of slightly flaky ash. Right now it's been pretty solid, but right out of the gate there was a little bit of flake, and with the bumps that I noticed earlier in the pre-light, I think that might be an issue when we get over these bumps, that they're flaking out. But we will keep you up to date on what that is, and I'll see you here at the halfway point. Bringing you back in at about the halfway point here in this cigar, right before we are going to take off the band here. The flavor profile changed up really nicely here. The main flavor is vanilla, with a nice creamy cedar, and still that baking spices is still one of the main flavors. And then the secondary flavors, we got a little bit of cinnamon and caramel in there as well. Very nice flavor profile here as well. Really like the sweeter notes rather than all the darker notes that we had in that first third. Balance is really nice here. Good richness of all the flavors. Very complex and just really smooth on the mouth. A nice ideal draw. The ash has been slightly flaky right now. It's decently solid, but it is just coming off that char line, which the char line is perfect. The strength kicks up to a medium to full here, so I do expect this thing to kick up to full strength before the end of the cigar, but I will let you know if it does not. I'm going to go ahead and smoke this down into the final third here, and then catch you back up with my final thoughts. Bringing you back in here for the final third of this cigar. We got Rocky here in the background. That's Rocky Patel. Say hi, everybody, Rocky. Say hi to the camera. Anyway, the flavor profile here in the final third is that baking spice still from the first and second thirds. Sticks around here for the final third. We get some espresso, a note espresso, some cedar in here as well, which was a note there last third, and then some vanilla in here as well, and a little bit of nuttiness, just very subtle nuttiness. But all in all, really good, flavorful, end to this cigar. The strength stays at medium to full. I thought it would kick up into that full range just with how the cigar was progressing, but it has not. It's still medium to full. It is, however, slightly coarse here in the final third, as well as the balance is slightly off. There's just a little bit too much dryness and bitterness coming from the espresso, dryness coming from like the cedar and baking spices working together in a negative way. Good rich flavor though here in this third, and a very complex flavor profile. All in all, really impressed here on the whole flavor of the cigar. I think the finish is really the big highlight of the cigar. The finish was really flavorful and long throughout. There's a nice baking spice for most of it, and in that middle third I had a little bit of caramel on the tongue as well that kind of lasted a little bit on that finish, and then obviously the baking spices still that last note to finish out. Evolution of the cigar used a lot of the same notes here, so there is a little bit of a knock there, but all in all it does progress pretty well. It's elaborate, but you know, the using a couple notes, you know, like the baking spice throughout as a main flavor, that is a knock there. So the evolution, we got a 4 out of 5 there for that, bringing our overall score to a 66 out of 70. That's our overall taste score. And then pre-light we had an 8 out of 10 as the cigar was slightly bumpy throughout. In fact, it's even slightly bumpy here on this last little nub bit. And we also had that sloppy cap on top, so that 8 out of 10 there. Combustion though, it had a great draw throughout. Ideal, I mean, almost perfect draw. Very nice, very even char line throughout. Just a slightly ash in all 3/3. So that's the only knock there. 9 out of 10 there in combustion. Presentation at 9 out of 10. Really like the box. The only knock there was it being cardboard, and then the bands. I really like the bands. I think this looks elegant. At 92 out of 100 is the total score here for this cigar. These things MSRP for $14 a stick. That brings our price per point score of 1.52. So a decent buy here. Really good product. I like this a lot. Again, it's one of those hot products right now. The Tampa or West Tampa Cigar Company as a whole is a very, very hot company, young upcoming company right now as well. So if you haven't checked out any of their products, check out some of them. You might be surprised by some of this quality. This Circle of Life cigar though was pretty phenomenal. I really didn't have too much to knock with it. Really enjoyed the baking spice flavors throughout. I like the subtleties of the vanilla, the caramel in that second third, even the creamy cedar notes. They were just really nice. I think the balance was the only thing that really was knocked here throughout the whole cigar. Flavor was top notch. I mean, richness of flavor was really, really good here. The notes were really rich. There's some subtle flavors in there as well for the the intricate smoker, advanced smoker, to pick up those notes. But all in all, just a really enjoyable cigar. If you liked the video, drop a like down below. Comment if you've had this cigar here. It's just came out in January, so really not a long light shelf life here. But if you've got your hands on one of these, let me know in the comments of what you think about it. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. You know, our goal here is to hit 100 subscribers so that we can bring you that My Father Le Bejoy 1922 100 Años. So we'll see you next time here on the Smoke Shack.